Hello, everyone. How are you doing? This is Daryl Guberman, CEO of Guberman PMC LLC, quality consulting from here in Connecticut. I know see the sweat. It's a very hot day here in Connecticut. Today, this video is about Department of Justice, Department of Homeland Security, FAA, Boeing. They are all members of ANSI-ANAB, Boeing's mandated accreditation body and underwriter. Quality expert Daryl Guberman explains. And here it is. In 2009, as you can see on this presentation here, on 2009, the FAA was made an FAA agency, which they mean that they can self-certify their own aircraft. This gentleman over here on this side of the world, over here, when asked in 2019, just a mere 10 years later, while Boeing was having a field day, not having to report anything like the MCAS system or new aircraft designs to the FAA because they were made an FAA agency. This guy over here on this side of the world, Mr. Martin, he said that, and let me read it to you. He said that the FAA has never allowed companies to police themselves or self-certify the aircraft. Well, ladies and gentlemen, they're bullshitting us. Yes. On top of it, the reason why the DOJ settled with Boeing on $250 million for supposedly lying to the FAA. No, they weren't lying. They are the FAA. This agency is lying to us. Okay? When you hear David Calhoun, this former CEO, as of December, it's going to come up to, when he says, a regulator, they're not a regulator. Boeing was made a regulator. In fact, David Calhoun in 2009, when the FAA made Boeing a regulator, sat on the board. He's had 15 years of do-nothingness. The new gentleman who's there jumped ship from Collins Aerospace, from what we've gathered from people who we know at Collins, before the heat got hot in the kitchen, because what we've gathered is they're part and parcel of the MCAS system that killed those people on the Ethiopian Air and Indonesian Air. So you have the Department of Justice sitting on the accreditation body of Boeing that mandates that accreditation body, ANSI-ANAB. You find anything wrong with that? If you take a look at the expression on my face over here, when I represented Sam Salapar, didn't know I was coming in, but I had to support him because he's there as a guy on an island, on an ice sheet. And I'm going to say this. Since the DOJ shut down the Ethiopian and Indonesian and even Alaska Air people, families from suing Boeing, go after ANSI-ANAB. They are underwriters, which means they take all systematic and product failure. For those organizations that sit on the International Accreditation Forum, which was founded by ANSI, and the sister organization, ILAC, the International Laboratory Accreditation Cooperation. So we have a serious issue going on, ladies and gentlemen. If you're gonna fly, say a prayer. Because for 22 years, Boeing gave up supplier auditing to a piece of paper that they sit on the accreditation body called AS9100, which is for aerospace. Boeing has perpetuated, with the new guy on board, Boeing has perpetuated the same old. And somebody said to me, you know, Daryl, a CEO doesn't have to know about production, doesn't have to know anything except about the dollars and cents. When you're dealing with products, and that's the problem, when you're dealing with products like Boeing is, that are basically death machines, okay? They're like a gun. If one of those go down, 300 people are dead. Or it's the 80-20 rule. 80% dead, 20% may live. So when you have this issue going on, there's a problem. I'm going to stop here, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, I don't know why. This is another placard. I have no idea why the government is protecting ANSI-ANAB, but it is unbelievable, the corruption that is there in front of our face. And if you think Boeing is bad, you have to look yourself into medical as well. You have Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson that also sit on ANSI-ANAB, supposed to be the gurus of quality certification. And on the ISO website, International Organization of Standards, it said unaccredited or accredited. Unaccredited doesn't necessarily mean that you have a bad certificate. It's what the market deems. But a third party, like an ANSI-ANAB, accredited cert, gives a confidence of the integrity and quality in the system. Well, we saw what happened to Boeing. We see what happened to Lockheed Martin after their 801st ship. They're still, F-35, they're still producing them with rejections. We see what happened with Pfizer skipping quality processes and standards. We see with Boeing, of course, and Boeing fudging documentation on their airliners in 2017. They just got caught in just several months ago, 8.1 million at their Bell Boeing V-22 composite facility. You just had one Bell Boeing aircraft go down, a V-22 Osprey. They say it's a gear issue. A gears broke off. And remember something, just a hint. The V-280 Valor that the government bought out to replace the Blackhawk is a tilt rotor. They have never really perfected that type of technology. Do you want your son or daughter to be riding in the V-280 Valor? Look at the V-22 and look at its history. You'll have people who bullshit you. Oh, don't worry, it's fine. Don't ever listen to that. My telephone number is 203-556-1493 or Daryl, TQRS, @yahoo.com. I thank you.